You want to know all the new changes in NBA 2K23 that have changed from 2K22? Oh boy, have you come to the right place. Could you just look this up on your own? Possibly. Could you watch another one of the multiple videos on this exact same topic? Absolutely. But you're here, so you might as well commit. Look at Devin Booker. Look at the sweat physics. Ooh, the sweat physics are back. They seem to only occur on the forehead and the shoulders. I don't know about you guys, but I would like to see the lower back sweat personally to really know if the game has truly changed and made the jump to new gen. But it is what it is. Let's go through here. We got a bunch of new news. We also got a bunch of tweets from Mike Wang, too, that I'll probably go through. Last time I scrolled through Twitter in relation to new NBA 2K news relating to 2K22, 2K sent a copyright strike to my account, which was interesting. They did that to no one else, just me for some reason. Granted, I was reporting on the guy who got the game early somehow. Still, pretty rude. I would like to put that out there. NBA 2K23's gameplay has a bevy of new improvements to complement any skill set. Flex on the rim. Finesse your way to the rack and experience more authentic animations. Now, the thing I will say before we get into this is they do this every single year. And, like, granted, there are changes in the game. They're never as drastic as these courtside reports make them sound. And the reason for that, I mean, it's obvious. Like, they want you to go buy the game. They want you to get excited and go buy the game, even though functionally it's very similar to the year before. So what I'm saying is kind of take this with a grain of salt. That's all I'm getting at here. NBA 2K23 is nearly here, and it features gameplay enhancements that elevate the competitive intensity in all facets. The main pillar for us this year can be summed up with one word: authenticity. Oh God, okay. You're making it easy for me. The team worked hard to create as much parity as possible in the on-court gameplay between current and next gen. New gen, technically, is what they're calling it now. Now look, I'd like to point this out again. No other game does this. Just 2K. Why we have been kind of like forced to accept this is beyond me. This is now the third year in a row that they're doing this. Why do they have to have two completely different games? Why? Like, why is there two completely different versions of the same game? Madden and the scum buckets at EA don't do this. MLB The Show doesn't do this. None of the other card collection modes do this aside from 2K. And you may be asking yourself, why do they do this? Oh, it's got to be for development reasons. No, it's so they can sell you two versions of the same game, obviously. It's kind of gross, and I feel like people don't really bring that up enough. I really don't. I remember a lot of people bringing it up at the time for 2K21, but I think we're all just used to it now. And I wouldn't be shocked to see them do this for a multitude of years. Like, they probably don't stop doing this until 2K25, if we're being completely honest. And it's whack, dude. I'm sorry, it is. The defense was a point of emphasis in last year's game, correct it was. But 2K23 is so jam-packed with new features and upgrades on the offensive end of the floor that it's a perfect starting point. Okay. NBA 2K22 is a banner year for perimeter players. Small guards had a slew of advantages over their taller counterparts, which the reality of the situation is that's accurate, right? And that was good. That's a good thing. I mean, we saw small guards be usable for a long period of time in my team. And I think that was a really good change. But when you think about the change in it, in a bubble as to why it was meant, it was made because in 2K21 last year, 7'2" players ran faster than 6' players, right? So it's like they're kind of hyping up something that they had to fix because they broke it in the first place, which, whatever, that's video game design, I suppose. We looked at how virtual games were playing out compared to real FNBA, and it was clear that we needed to give more love to slashers who love to finish at the rim. This meant expanding the tools for attacking the basket. Now, the thing I will say about that is they need to fix the layup timing thing from this season. I think that was this year period. I think that was pretty terrible. Like the whole, if you just turn layup timing off, you're just like cash all the time. I think that was horrible. I hope they change that. Upgraded Pro Stick. The most obvious upgrade is the addition of a new gesture combos to the Pro Stick. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what that means. Sorry if you were coming here for real in-depth news. I apologize. Your boy is ripped. Internally, we refer to the new mechanics as double throws, flicking the Pro Stick in a direction, letting it go back to center, and then quickly moving the Pro Stick back in the same direction, and switchbacks. These new gestures introduce a lot of new weapons for both shooting and ball handling. We'll see. They claim there's going to be a change in dribbling every single year, and we'll see how well it actually works. You also got to remember a lot of these things, if they sound very revolutionary, there's a high probability that people are just going to complain about them if they're not easy to understand in the first 5 minutes the game is out, and they're just going to change them like they did with the shooting stick. So it's like it doesn't matter. Whatever. For dunking, the metered skill dunks from NBA 2K22. Okay. Return, but the new commands allow us to expand the dunking controls to let you dunk exactly how you want without accidentally firing off a skill dunk you weren't expecting. That's good. When driving to the basket with the sprint trigger held, the new Pro Stick control map for dunk is as follows. Up, two-hand. I would assume up and right are going to be how a vast majority of people are going to do it because those are the harder dunks to block, right? Left, weak hand, ring hang, flashy two-hand, flashy one-hand, normal skill dunk with meter, rim hang, skill dunk with meter. Okay. You'll notice with this new map, you now have control over rim hangs, which is good because sometimes, dude, you'll dunk in 2K and your dude will just sit there and do a spider over the rim for no reason and then just not get back on defense. It's very frustrating. I had that happen to me at the end of a game in clutch time and I lost because of it and I was very upset. So, you know. For new gen, we've taken that control to an all new level. This is the shit that This is what's frustrating. Why can't I just feel like the game would be overall better if they just didn't split their entire staff into making 2 separate games. Dude, they can barely handle making 1 game in a year, which is not like something that I would say about 2K necessarily in a vacuum, right? A normal studio can barely handle putting out 1 game every year. I mean, we saw this with Assassin's Creed. We've seen this with every yearly release. Now, 2K just decided to add in a whole edition of the game, like a whole different version of the game into their already crammed ass release schedule, dude. And it's so stupid. I'm sorry. It's dumb that they're doing this. I mean, yes, there's extra profit to be made, but it doesn't matter. Like, they make so much money every quarter. Like, they didn't need this extra revenue. They really didn't. It's not like they're paying the devs anymore. They're not. Trust me. Whatever. The controls are simple. Use one of the new rim hang dunk gestures mentioned above when driving towards the rim. Keep the sprint trigger held. Blah, 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 blah. It's one of the most fun things to do in the city. Okay. But watch out for techs if you hang too long in NBA games. So if you hang a bunch in the NBA game, you're going to get a technical. Oh my god. Imagine getting a technical. That would be so funny. Finesse your way to the rack. For slashers who want to finish with a little more finesse, that's me. You know me. Double throw gestures are used for hop step layups, while switchback gestures are used for Euro step and cradle layups, which feel very natural. A simple hold left or right will perform an all new set of quick layups. Quick scoop layups, whatever. These are great, especially for smaller guards who want to quickly flip the ball up. Yeah, I could see that being super overpowered, honestly. So that's pretty cool. For bigger, stronger players like Giannis, that's pretty much who I thought of immediately. You also experience a lot of new contact layup content that properly shows what would happen, what should happen when players like Giannis plow through everyone in their path. Okay. We've also added several new layup packages for both new gen and current gen, including Booker, Embiid, Iverson. Okay, that's cool. Magic Johnson, Jokic's are about to be, I could feel them being overpowered because he really doesn't put a whole lot of flash or effort into them, so I could feel them being very overpowered. Oh, I'm repping Sue Bird all day, dude. The Diatona Taurasi one, yeah, it's about to be OP, dude. And, like, you think I might be joking about that, but no, dude. WNBA players have very skillful layup packages. They really do. So I could actually see Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi having, like, some of the most overpowered layup packages in the entire game. I'm dead serious. I'm not even kidding. I would be willing to test that out day one. Combine mesmerizing skill moves. Now, this is for all the dribble gods out here. Dribbling in 2K has taken on a life of its own to become a sort of game within a game. Now, as I've said for a while, due to things like this, the radical difference between, like, my team, which, contrary to popular belief, is the money mode for 2K. That's what they make the most money on. And Park, the game is so radically different playing-wise that they really should have Park as a free-to-play experience that gets updated every so often like Warzone, and my team should be included with the game mode, right? That's what they should do. They're never going to do that, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's one of those short-sighted moves that 2K always does where they don't understand certain things. Like, if they made Park a free-to-play experience, they would be able to charge more money for shit in Park, and people would complain a little bit less because, like, they didn't have to pay $60 in the beginning, right? So you end up making more money, and people are still going to buy 2K the game. The reason they're not doing this is because they fear the slight loss in revenue from people who play Park that aren't going to buy 2 versions of the same game. That's why they're doing it, right? Because the people who play 2K for real will buy both versions of the game because one is inevitably going to be easier or better than the other, for sure. Anyways, ball handlers are going to enjoy comboing up in 2K23 as the new gesture combos give you even more options for your arsenal. Switchback gestures, it's like one of those things where I'm going to have to see this stuff in real life, how this works. And then we'll kind of go from there because I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Every single year they talk about these revolutionary things that they're doing in relation to like dribbling and stuff like that. And then what happens every single year is one move is overpowered and then people just spam that same move over and over and over again. I mean, we saw it last year with the Curry escape. We've seen it this year with like the Trey escape. I mean, there's been a couple more that people use occasionally, but every year there seems to be one overpowered broken dribble move, and then all this other stuff that they add just gets thrown to the wayside. Every card just has these same dribble sigs, so it doesn't really matter, You can chain your player's normal signature size up by rocking the pro stick back and forth rhythmically. Rapid double throws will give you the aforementioned new combos, and flicking the pro stick back and forth repeatedly will give you a whole different set of animations called signature combos. Cool. I will say that the signature combos don't really get used too much in the game for the most part, so it'd be cool to see them more emphasized. So, whatever. Another major dribbling change is the attacking size ups. One of the things we wanted to improve with dribbling was that while the size up moves look cool, they weren't very useful. The new attacking size up provide a lot more side to side movement and are much better at forcing the defense to drop and shift. That's not good. I don't like that. Allowing you to bait them one way and then attack the other. Something all great ball handlers do so well in real life. Yeah. This is going to be pretty effective in both modes, but I feel like it's going to work the proper way and the way it's intended in Park, and it's going to destroy my team in some capacity. Until they nerf it, I can just feel it. While it's fun to clown your opponents with a flurry of flashy dribble moves, we don't want to encourage players to dribble the entire shot clock out with their teammates fall asleep. Energy will deplete much quicker when spamming too many moves together. So it's important to be efficient and not play with your food too long. There's a long list of size ups to learn on paper, but they're all very simple and feel natural in practice. Okay. I mean, yeah, this year it's not quite as bad as it's been in the past with people dribbling out the shot clock, but you'll run into people on clutch time that are Jordan mains, and they're quite literally just going to go side to side, side to side, side to side until a three-pointer opens up, and then chuck it. And then sometimes they'll just chuck it contested because they use too much time on the clock. But if this works the way that it is supposed to work, I think it'll make the game more fluid and a little bit more fun. It's just remains to be seen if it's going to do that or not. Another new feature to prevent over-dribbling is the concept of adrenaline boost. There are 3 available boosts per player per possession, shown as 3 small bars under the stamina. Okay, this I like. Boosts are consumed every time you perform a hard go or explosive splint launch. Once your 3 boosts are gone, you'll notice that your speed and acceleration decrease significantly for the remainder of the possession. As with dribble combos, it's important to play smart basketball and be efficient. Okay, this is tight. I've seen a lot of people be upset about this on the timeline. I didn't know exactly what they were talking about, but this is it. Nah, this is sick, dude. This is tight. This is going to make everything more strategic. And to be honest, in the beginning of the year, this is going to come into effect more than the end of the year. Like, once we get to, February, not even February, I would say probably, March or April, realistically, where you can run 5 dribblers, then it's not going to matter. But in the early game, where only 2 players on your team are really going to be good dribblers at any given time, this is going to be very effective and very cool. More authentic shooting. There we go. Okay. Shooting also gets some nice upgrades. In 2K22, success from the outside was heavily weighted towards coverage. Yes, it was. And that was... it's tough to say. If you can get an open look, you could balance out poor ratings and inaccurate timing. This year, we wanted a more authentic shooting model that captures the essence of great NBA shooters' capabilities. The first major change is the addition of shooting attributes. Since the inception of signature jump shots in 2K basketball, animations have been more or less aesthetic but functionally the same. This year, each signature jump shot has unique shooting stats that help determine its effectiveness. Okay, that's fucking tight. How quickly the shot gets to its ideal release point, so shot speed. Release height, how high the shot is released. Defensive immunity, how effective the shot is against defensive contests. Timing impact. Oh no. Adjust shot windows to reward good timing at the cost of an increased penalty for bad timing. Yeah, these are huge. We're adding a new Sorry, we're adding a huge number of shot animations to choose from, over double the amount to any previous version of 2K. Okay. And they're much more accurate to each player's real-life jumper. For my players, shot animations will be gated by shooting ranges. Okay. So you'll have to play around with all the options to figure out what works best with you. Okay. And I actually have here, hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it here. Because we have a whole little bit of a rating system here. So Mike Wang posted this. And there is like an allowed size where only certain sizes can use these, but rating requirements are here as well. But then you can look at these. So like the release height, like how high up it's released. Looks like one of the best is T-Mac. Interesting. One of the worst is Kevin Love. Which is kind of weird. I feel like Kevin Love releases it pretty normal in real life, but it is what it is. Trae Young also. Trae Young does kind of release it low. So release speed. Trae Young, one of the highest with an A- over here. One of the lowest is T-Mac. Lowest is Jordan. Well, the lowest is technically Durant. So interesting. Okay. Timing impact. You can pretty much gate that by a lot of things. But looks like Curry, Trae Young, Larry Bird, Klay Thompson, all the great shooters have a A+ in timing impact, which means they're going to miss a lot of whites, quote unquote. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, I mean, no one has like a really low timing impact. I think the lowest is probably Kobe, realistically. Markieff Morris has his own jump shot, which is, watch it be fire. Defensive immunity, the highest is like Trae Young, Larry Bird, Kyrie. Lowest is Julius Randle. All right. The Julius Randle disrespect. Okay. There are also 5 new shot meters to choose from with 15 more. I don't care about the shot meters. I mean, if you do, cool. The shot arcs are back. We'll see if they actually do anything. We'll see. Facilitating the offense. I mean, there's a new spot up pass mechanic. I mean, that's cool. I don't know how well that's actually going to work. Lead to the basket pass makes a return to new gen, so that works the same way as current gen. So backdoor cuts are back. Don't know how I feel about that personally, but I guess we'll see how it works in the game. I'm not sure how it's actually going to work. So the defensive change. On-ball decent. All right, here we go. On-ball defense. For the floor game, on-ball defensive movement and body ups received a major refresh with new content that more accurately depicts today's one-on-one player interactions. Now, the gist of this is that they're saying there's going to be a buff or a bonus for playing on-ball defense, right? We'll see how accurate that is, because this year it was almost like the opposite. You received a buff for playing off-ball defense for a large portion of the year, so we'll see how this works. It looks like they're still going to put an emphasis on playing lanes, just based on how this is worded. Now, the only thing that really excites me is the shot blocking, right? Because I've been asking for changes in shot blocking for years, because you could actually guarantee what people are going to do based solely on their blocks, right? Certain players would just smack that shit out of bounds every single time. It appears as though, from what they're saying, blocks have been tuned to a more realistic level, so leading to much more predictable outcomes. So, okay. That's cool. So, I mean, when you time the blocks correctly, it looks like different stops will happen. No more small guards pulling off LeBron James level chase down blocks like last year. Damn, Trae Young was out here doing that for a while. The thing that I'm worried about is that it's going to be to the point where you know for a fact if you do a block animation in a certain capacity, like if you time it a certain way, you'll be able to get the ball back every time, right? But we'll see. Steals and ball strips, we will see, dude. They're new and improved, but unless they really nerf like bump steals, I don't know, man. I don't know. New gen badge system. Okay. The most impactful change, of course, only occurring on new gen. When it comes to building players, the form of the new badge system for new gen. The motive behind this change was to encourage players to make some tough choices when creating their badge recipes. I don't know how I feel about this. So we got some new badges. Slithery. It's just Slithery finisher. That's it. Masher. We got a whole badge for paint mashing. That's not good, dude. That's not good. Aerial wizards, just alley-oops and putbacks. It's essentially, I forgot. They removed a bunch of badges and everyone was freaking out, but then they just replaced them with badges that are basically the same. Removed badge, hook specialist, right? Cool. Agent 3. Ability to hit difficult 3-point shots off the dribble. I mean, it's just Chef. They removed Chef. Everyone was stoked about it, and they just gave us Agent 3. That's it. Improved ability to knock down mid-range jump. Yeah, midi magician, dude. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Reduces the shooting attribute penalties when fatigued when moving excessively prior to shooting. Yeah, amped is going to be overpowered. People are talking about Agent 3. Amped may actually be the most overpowered in this game. Claymore increases a spot-up shooter's ability to knock down catch-and-shoot jumpers. Just catch and shoot, right? So this is that's just set shooter, basically. Improved ability to shoot perimeter jumpers when trailing in a game. That's going to be overpowered, too. Hand down, man down. Makes an outside shooter even deadlier if opponent fails to get a hand in their face. Space creator, formerly a playmaking badge, but it now boosts the ability to hit step back jumpers and hop shots. Yeah. Limitless, yeah, it's just what it is. Removed badges. Yeah, I mean, see, they removed all these badges, but they're basically the same. Killer combos, vice grip, it's just ball security. Mismatch expert is the same, basically, but it just helps guards. They got rid of bullet passer. Oh, no, not glue hands, dude, no. Clamp breaker helps ball handlers win more one-on-one body bump. That's cool. Anchor. It's for defensive bigs, blocking contest shots in the paint. Box out beast is just, box out. The Pat Bev badge that boosts your ability to hustle down 50-50 balls. Okay. Named after Gary Payton, helps you strip as they gather for shots. That's cool. Improves the effectiveness of perimeter shot contest. That one's going to be huge. That one's going to be necessary. And then we have a bunch of AI designs, which I read through them, and there's nothing really crazy. Essentially, what they're doing is they're reworking the defensive settings, essentially. Now, they still don't allow you, from what I can tell here, to save your defensive settings, which is still ass, but it does, quote-unquote, help to defend, so we'll see how well that works. But either way, it's been your boy Cheap Ludes. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll be back with you guys later with another market video, so that's cool.